No, I don't hear any noise coming from the mic, which is weird.
Is it on?
Yeah.
It's on. It's working.
Do you hear it?
Uh,
Okay, speak into it for a second.
Good morning. You can't hear me?
There's levels on there.
Yeah,
Like it's
not.
coming up.
Okay, could you just say your name or just keep talking?
Good morning. My name is Arthur Brown, and I'm here for an interview this morning to discuss little community things, whatever the situation is, to find out what need to be adjusted, what need to be did in the neighborhood, and good conversation with the student from UWM. Did you hear me?
Yeah, it's getting better.
Oh, okay.
The levels were way off.
Well, we all okay.
So now it's right. All right. So when you start the interview, I'll just adjust a little bit if I need to.
Okay.
At first, it was like the levels were so quiet.
Oh, okay.
But it's better now.
Is it working?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay.
No, it was the levels were super quiet. Like some other
I
things.
grab another one.
You're not showing me this evening. He's like took too wide of a picture.
Okay, so we're ready whenever it.
You don't have to smile.
Okay.
Alright, and can I just get a picture of you?
Sure.
Alright.
Now
It's
leave.
all good. Okay.
Okay. So you just have some consent forms, and you only have to fill one out. You can keep the other just for yourself. And
Okay.
you can take your time and read through that and ask us any questions that you have.
Okay, so what you want me to sign right here?
You do these top two. You have nice handwriting.
Thank you. There's the 14th.
Yeah. And bottoms for us. And then, and then you write your name there, just mention
And what else you need? My street address?
Yeah, if you're alright with that. I mean, it's not super important because we're not at your home yet. Get it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a little script to read through at the beginning. Hello, this is Bella Bewer, and I am here at the Finney Library on Sherman and North. And today is July 14th, 2017, and we're doing an interview with Arthur Brown. Also in the room is Tiana Cooksey helping with the recording. And this interview is sponsored by Professor Regit Sen and the Buildings, Landscapes, Cultures Field School at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It will be stored at the Goldemeyer Library Archives. And Mr. Brown, at this time, could you give us your verbal consent to use this audio or share this audio for our research?
Good morning. My name is Arthur Brown, and I'm here for an interview with the students of UWM, and they have my consent for an interview. I'll be more than willing to answer the question, whatever they ask or whatever we need to talk about to help this project work real good.
Thank you. And maybe you could start by just telling us like when and where you were born and some of the details of your early life.
Oh, that's a long story. Okay, I was born in the Mid-South in a state called Mississippi, a little town called West. So I grew up there as a young man, as a kid or whatever you want to say. Then I relocated, Illinois, Iowa, a couple more states have been around. And the most thing is when you're growing up, you kind of just don't want to stay in your own hometown. You want to get out and experience things. So that's what I did. I experienced a lot of jobs, met a lot of people, good people, some were bad, but worked a lot of facilities. I just wanted to experience how the economy would be from that day up to this one. So the way I look at it right now, all the young students out there, young people, they got everything right in the palm of their hand. They can open their hand, it's laying right there. All they got to do is think, use their fingers, and get it. Like when I was coming up, we didn't have all of this. For as cell phone, we didn't have cell phone. Typewriters, we had the old typewriters, used to work by the river. A lot of people don't know what that is. Some do and some don't. But right now, the young generation got it where they can just go in and sit down and log in and type whatever they want. So we couldn't do that. So as the years got better, you learned more, you experienced, difficult things. Then you just said, well, I can better myself. And see, if I'd have known then what I know now, I'll be just like the man in the White House. I'll be rich and famous. I own a whole lot of bunch of buildings. I'll be rich. But I didn't know then. But as the years pass by, you get older, then you see what's coming on. You can try to pass on to the young people. But a lot of young people, they don't want to experience that. All they want to do is walk around with $100 tennis shoes on or $200 on with the pants hanging down so low you be ashamed to look at them. Then all in agriculture right here now is going on. It's all good for them. Architect, hey, you see a lot of people can do drawing. Hey, they'll draw this on there for a few bucks. They won't do nothing else. But if you're going to school with it, hey, try to be successful. Like if I could start all over and go back again and be successful like young people right now, it'll be a miracle. But we never know what the change might come. But right now, I try to do the best that I can do, encourage young people, hey, all this here, rap music and all that stuff, it ain't gonna help you out. Because the one that making that rap, they getting paid. So you just out here jumping up and down and doing nothing, you ain't getting paid. But the one that's making it, they making their money. and they making their money off of you because you buying their music. So a lot of young people, they don't look at it like that. But from my point of view, they got everything right in their hand. They don't have nothing to do but work with it. Some of the parents try to encourage them. Some of them say, I don't have to do this and do that. Hey, we can't make you do it. All the things we can do is give you advice. And just like right here, we just getting associated with Washington High School. It's going to be a training facility there where everybody can go, learn how to do work. Then once you get there, you finish the course, you get your papers, then you can be out, go on your own, make your own money. Then you want to be saying up there, well, I got to wait on this man to come through. If you done got your training, you have a skill how you can do it. Then if you don't want to do it, that's up to you. It won't be my laws, it'll be your laws. So I don't know why they don't want to participate in it. But I know I'll be there encouraging, learn more stuff that I don't know. But other people's, they just like to sit back. I like to get out there and be in the wind, always doing stuff, find something to do. So that's one of my theories. And if you don't get it right now, it's going to be too late down the road when you try to get it. That's the way I look at it. Now, how other people look at it, they may look at it from a different view than I do. But that's just exactly the way I look at it.
Okay. Could you give us like maybe your date of birth and like talk about maybe your parents or your siblings growing up?
My date of birth is 10/22/53. That's the year I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Born in a little town called West Mississippi. And my mother, my father, they deceased. So came up, got a good understanding from both of them. My father, he passed along when I was in ninth grade. Then my mother, she just passed a few years ago when she was 99 years old, which was a blessing, to be that age, and still was in pretty good health when she passed. So after that, I have one sister and one brother living. So we always communicate with each other just about every day or every 2 days, find out how we doing and, how's everything going. So that's the relationship that we try to have. Most people's got family, they don't want to communicate with them. Some do and some don't. But I love to communicate with mine. Because when I wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm on the phone. I call him, I'll call my brother, hey, how you feeling, how you doing? If I ain't call him, he done call me. So that's a good thing. That's a good understanding. That's like, what I say understanding, mean that's love. That's love that you have. That's love can't nobody else take away from you. No man out here, man, nobody take away but God. God the only one that can take it away. But he'll put it in a way where it always would be within you and by your side, so you wouldn't have to worry. But as growing up, everything, and I finished high school, got my diploma, we working. Oh, we had a good time. That was a good time. Played ball, softball, basketball, volleyball, all of that stuff. So like I said, when I relocated to the north, I got off into factories, like first one with Montgomery Wards. Everybody familiar with Montgomery Ward. Working there, it wasn't paying all the big money, but it was enough where you had money in your pocket. You didn't have to be out there begging nobody or asking nobody for nothing. When you got your paycheck on Friday, you know what you had coming. Because it don't nothing feel no better in your own hand when you got your own money in your hand. When you got your own money in your hand, you can say, this is mine. This is what I work for. See, most people, they go out right now, if they get $4 or $5, oh, I can do this, I can do that. That ain't good money. Good money is when you got a paycheck and somebody say, well, you didn't make this, and you got your pay stub, and you can hold up and say, hey, this is my proof. That's all you need.
Could you tell us about what it was like when you first came to Sherman Park? Your experiences of the community?
Well, when I moved to Milwaukee, I moved here from California, Anaheim, California, relocated here. And coming through Sherman Park, I didn't know one park from the other one because I wasn't familiar with Milwaukee. So as of then, I met some good neighbors, then had a sister-in-law live here, which was real nice, but she never did get out, show nobody around. But she had a son, and he would come around and say, come on and show you this and show you that. So when I go to Sherman Park, they, had the Boys and Girls Clubs there. Then they have bands and stuff in the park. It was real nice. But after the years went by, everything started changing. Then that's when, like, the young people's coming up, you couldn't tell them this and couldn't tell them that. Then they want to take over. But right now, Sherman Park is a good place to be living. Because, see, if everybody living in Sherman Park, like use what they call neighborhood watch. You live in here, I watch out for you, you watch out for me. When you get off of work, hey, I'm going to see you when you come in. I'll make sure you're okay. But most people, they'll sit back, oh, well, they got this and they got that. Then that make it bad. Then once Sherman Park get bad, it'd be like, take it like the elder people living there now. They'd be afraid to come out when they get dark. They don't even want to sit on their porch because they're scared the young boys or the young girls might do something to them, which we don't need that. We need it where you can come out, sit on your porch, have a conversation with your neighbor, listen to your radio or whatever you want to do. If it get dark and you feel like you got trash to take out, you don't have to be afraid. But most people, they're afraid to go out after dark. Then if they go to church at night, a lot of them, they'll be saying, well, you wait till I get in the house. Well, quite naturally, everybody going to wait until you get in the house. But most of them, they be too afraid. But see, Sherman Park, if everybody got together, pull together, and get rid of these abandoned houses they got, Sherman Park would be a good place to live. It'll be in a good neighborhood. Good neighborhood all the way around.
Why did you decide to move to Sherman Park?
Well, I moved in the neighborhood because at the time when I moved to Milwaukee, staying with my sister-in-law for a few weeks, then ended up we got our own place, and as we both were working, so I just told her, I said, it's time to do something different. So we finally bought a house right behind St. Joseph Hospital. So we've been right there ever since.
You and your sister-in-law?
No, me and my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, me and my wife. So I've been right there ever since.
And what year was that?
That was in 1993. Been right there ever since. And all the people there that I met, we just like kids playing games. We sit and talk, we laugh, we listen to music, we have a good time. But it's only about, I would say maybe about 7 or 8 families there, which I call the older generation, my age and up. And so they still got their houses right there. But young people, they move in, stay there for a month. Oh, the rent is too high. They move out. Then somebody else move in. So that's the only thing that I don't like. If you move in, if whoever own the house, whoever renting it, they give you a price and you agree to pay it, that's what your rent is. But see, when somebody else get to talking, they talking about it's too high. They don't want to pay that. They'll move out in the middle of the night. Then there's an open house. 2 weeks later, they done put somebody else in there. A month later, they gone. So that's not a good thing around in that area. But see, ain't nothing we can do about it. All thing we can do is just speak with the owner of the house. And so, like, he don't know what's going on, because when he come there to check, the apartment is empty. They done moved. And they ain't told him nothing. I've seen that go on night and day. But otherwise, in Sherman Park area, from the areas I've been all around, so far it's been pretty nice. But like I say, one that don't want to do nothing, they the one that kind of make Sherman Park look bad. Most of everybody, they want to go school, or they going to the library, try to learn something or do something or get on the computer or whatever. That's a good thing in the young. I see more young ladies going to the library than I do young men. You always see young ladies going to the library. They going to do their homework or find out something they need to do, or maybe they need to type up something and have it printed out. They can do that at the library, but they don't have a computer at home to do it. But the young guys, half of them don't do it.
Do you have a problem with renters, or is it just the specific people who don't stay long or don't take care of their properties?
No, I don't have a problem with rentals, but the only one that I can see a problem with is the person that own the house. You know, if you rent a house. A lot of them I see, they don't come by, they won't cut their grass. They don't cut their trees down. You know, like when you got living next door to one and this one renting, and you got trees hanging over in your yard, you want your yard to look respectable. You know, if you got friends come over there, you want to barbecue, you want to sit out in the backyard and barbecue and play a little music or maybe play cards, or if they drink a little beer, they can do it all right there. But see, when you got trees hanging over there at the next person's yard, that don't make you feel comfortable. That make you feel like, well, they ain't doing their job. And see, I know this one place, one house next to me, I can't remember the last time the guy cut the trees. I usually cut them to keep them hanging over in my yard. And so when I pull up in my driveway, I like to see from where I park all the way to the next street. I like to see all the way down inside my house. I don't like them trees be over there and I got to look this way and look that way. Especially if it's at night, you never know what be standing there. You never know who it is. And so, like, that's the only thing about it. But a lot of people I see come in and rent property. First thing they say, I don't have to pay for nothing. It don't cost me nothing. That's on the landlord. Okay, they mess it up. Landlord got to fix it. Time he get it fixed, he gonna put a sign up for rent. Somebody else come and look at it, then somebody else gonna rent it. They get mad about something, or may get mad with their guy or some family member or something. They tear up everything. Then they gone. Then he's stuck with that same bill again. Which I don't think that's fair, because I think if you rent a property, you should take care of the property like it was when you moved in. Because if you don't take care of it, and let them know how you live. If you live good, you're going to take care of your stuff. If you ride good, you're going to keep your car clean. You know, if you dress good, you're going to dress good when you go out. If you don't dress good when you go out, hey, something wrong. You know, especially like if you go to a concert. Well, everybody, when they go to a concert, they want to look their best when they go to a concert, especially who's playing. But most of them, they don't. They don't want to share with the landlord and the property. Because I know a lot of times there's homeowners in my neighborhood. You know, I go through there, hey, something I can help you do? Well, you can help me move this, help me move that. That's no problem. I'd be glad to help them move, because, hey, if I come through there and trying to move something in my yard or pick up something, hey, wait a minute, I give you a hand. And, you know, that's understanding. That's respect and love. But most of them, they'll pass through there. I ain't got time to pick this up. And they go on down the street and they can sit and park and talk to somebody they know, but they won't give you a helping hand. And when they want a helping hand, they stopping and asking. And see, everybody to be in a community in Sherman Park, we should stick together, work together, and try to love one another. Because if you don't work together, hey, things will never go right. That's the way I look at it.
Do you at your home spend a lot of time outside and like talking to other people and your neighbors?
Well, quite naturally, yeah. I spend a lot of time, because most time when I'm at home and I don't want to watch nothing on television when it's rerun, I'm in my garage. You know, I always have friends calling me, well, can you look at this? Can you look at that? Fix their cars. And so I'm outside, I would say 85, 90% of the time. Then a lot of time I have friends that call me, I'm at the house, can you come by here and look at this? Go by, be just 5 or 10 minute job. They didn't want to call a plumber when I can fix it. You know, within 10, 15 minutes. Call a plumber, they got to pay all that big money come out from them. And they only gonna be there about 15, 20 minutes. Then they go out, smoke them a cigarette. Oh, I got to give them a cup of coffee. They're gonna drink the coffee, that's 30 minutes. But they're gonna charge them by that hour, they're gonna charge them for that service call. And I just tell a lot of them, I say, hey, this all it costs. You buy the part, I put it on right quick. And to my feeling, every time I do something, I'm not trying to charge them. I just do it out the love of my heart, you know, to help them out. Because I figure one day if I get out, maybe out, I need help. I need a ride. I call them, they'll come and get me. You know, that's the way I look at it. And so that's the understanding that we have.
So you're considered kind of the handy guy in the area?
Well, just like I say, I experience working in factories, doing mechanic work. I experience a little everything. Handyman, yes. Mechanic, yes. Carpenter, yes. I do a little all of that.
Okay. Can you tell us about like where out in the community that you spend a lot of your time, or your favorite places in the community?
Well, a lot of time most time I spend most of my time is at home. Mm-hmm. Then I got another friend. He we call it a junkie. And like sometimes he'll call me. He said, I got this over here I need to pick up. Can you help me? Yeah, I'll ride with him, maybe gone for a day. But a lot of time I got a friend live on 24th Place. I go over there and spend a lot of time with him because he's up in age. He's 80-something years old, you know. I go by there and sit and talk and do a lot of stuff for him. So either there or either I'm at home. One of the three places.
So there aren't any like where do you do your grocery shopping and stuff like that?
Well, I when I do my grocery shopping, I shop around. I go to Pick and Save, see what the item is. I go to this other new building they call Myers. I go to that one. Then they got the new one they just call Galaxies. And I go by there, but you know, like, you want to go where, to me, where they have the best meat and best quantity. And like I always hear about, say, Pick and Save got the best, but I don't think so. I think Century got the best to me. Because when you go in the Century, they produce it looking good, fresh, watered, everything. Their meat is looking fresh, like it just packed, and all of that. And when you look at meat like that, you say, oh, they just put this together. It's good. And it got the date and everything on it. So hey, you want to spend your money where they got quality product. That's what I like to do.
We've been asking people about like all the unrest in the 60s and stuff in the area. You weren't in Milwaukee at that point yet, right?
And what now?
During like the unrest in the 60s.
Oh no, I wasn't here in the 60s.
So you were in Mississippi?
Yeah, yeah. I was
so
in Mississippi.
What was like some of your experiences of that?
Well, you know, it's like at that time in the year, all the stuff that was going on, I didn't know too much about it because, like then we didn't, didn't get off into it. Like when I was going to school, only thing that we were concerned about, who gonna come out with the A and who gonna come out with the B. You know, we were just trying to like running competition, who was gonna be the smartest. And so like that's what we did. When they talking about something going on over here, hey, this ain't in my books right here. I'm in my books. I want to learn this and want to learn that. So that's what we did.
That's good. It's a good way to do it. And what was your experience last year with the not the riots, but the unrest that happened in the area?
Well, I look at it like this. I may be wrong and I may be right. When I seen all that on television and everything, it was just pitiful. Because this is a neighborhood where everybody live. You know, then you got the peoples come down the street. They brought up one of the favorite place all the young ladies, all the older ladies love to go, and that's the beauty supply store. When you bring that up, hey, they got to go way across town to get their little hair that they like, their little nail polish, their little slippers or whatever. Because you go there and you get them for, you know, a little reasonable price. Hey, they going to look good as wearing those as $100 or $200 pair, you know. Hey, the guys ain't supposed to be washing your feet. They supposed to be looking at you, looking at your beautiful smile. So that's why when they destroyed the beauty store, then they come up, they did the gas station, but I can't say too much about the gas station because I really don't know what all went on in there, but it said there was a lot of conflict there. Then I know they come up the street, they broke all the windows at the liquor store. One of the liquor store, I know everybody stop right there and they go to it. So that wasn't even called for. Then they did all that stuff in Sherman Park over that one incident. So it was just bad. It was just bad. Then it made it bad for the whole entire Sherman Park area because you had people afraid to walk out. When they walk down the street, you wouldn't know how to see one walking by themselves. You're going to see 4 and 5 of them together because they were scared. Young ladies, all the young little boys, they hang together. But when the young lady walk, you ain't going to catch one walking by herself. You're going to see 4 or 5 because they walk like a little team. So if you mess with one, you got to mess with all of them. You know, you set something to one, all of them ready to jump on you. And I think that was a good thing. But after they did all that disaster, that was uncalled for. Then it made the neighborhood uncomfortable to kind of feel like to be in. Then after they destroyed the service station, that make you go further across town or further south to get your fuel, get your oil or whatever you needed, you know. So that is just still out in open. Nothing been did to it. Haven't been no, I've seen plans just cleaning up, but for rebuilding, ain't nothing been rebuilt. So that was one of the baddest things right there. And I noticed when you turn on your television, you see it all on television. You go on Facebook, somebody put it all on Facebook. That's all the way around the world. Then if you got relatives living like in New York, California, they'll be calling you, asking you, what's going on in your city? Hey, all I know is just had a ride. Well, we looking at it on television. Hey, what can I say? I'm not up there. I'm not going to be involved with that. I don't want no parts of it. But I just said just messing up the community. So once a community been broken down like it, it's going to take time to redevelop to get it back together, get it back like it used to be. Because everybody used to go to Washington Park, they could sit out, have a good time. Now, not Washington Park, Sherman Park, you know, and have a good time. But now, half of them scared to even go to the park because they don't know what might happen. Then, like, if I remember right, I think they used to have, like, the picnic benches there. You don't see those no more. May see a few, 1 or 2. All of them is gone. They done ripped all of them up. Then they had to get rid of them. So now when you go to the park, you want to sit, you got to take your own chairs. So when you leave, you got to take your own chair with you. But see, when the bench was there, you go there and you sit on the bench. Oh, hey, somebody come up, hi, how you doing? Sit right there and y'all communicating. But now, you don't see that.
I had a question in my head. Tiana, do you have any questions you want to ask or try to remember?
Yeah, I got a couple questions that I just jotted down as you were talking. The first question that I would like you to answer is, what's the difference between living in Mississippi and living in Milwaukee?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, like when I was living in Mississippi, it was like living in a little small town. you had like a little town where you go and get groceries, your clothes and stuff like that, shoes, and if you needed product for your garden, your field, you get all that in the little town. But outside the little town, they had two stores, and they were like about 8 miles apart. You had to go to this one, or you had to go to that one. One of the stores you go to, it was bigger than the other one. You had he had more product than the little store had. The little store, he would have stuff like sugar, flour, meal, and all that stuff. Like ice cream, soda. That's all he would mostly sell because everybody would be working. They would stop and eat and get them a soda or some ice cream or something, or water or something. And the other one, you go in there and get just about what you wanted. So when I look at it in Milwaukee, and I moved to Milwaukee, every corner you used to go, there's two things you could find. Well, actually three things. You can find a church on every corner. You can find a liquor store on every corner. Then you can find a gas station just about on every corner. But like there in Mississippi, you couldn't find no, unless you was living close to the little town you was in, or you had to drive to it. So that's one of the big differences right there.
I forgot to ask, do you have any children?
Yes,
How many?
I got two
Okay.
two daughters.
And they're grown and all by now.
Yeah, both of them is grown.
Do you have grandchildren?
Yeah, one got three. My oldest one got three.
Do they spend a lot of time, do they live nearby?
No, they live in our way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't come visit very often?
Well, the boys don't come over here because one is working. Well, I ain't gonna say working. Well, he got his own little thing, got his own little place, and little girlfriend and baby. And the other
Oh,
one,
so you have great-grandchildren.
no, it's not his baby. It's the girl that go with her baby, you know. And so, like the other one, he's going to school, and the baby boy, he's still, just going to summer school. Yeah. And my other daughter, she have none.
Okay. And also, are you working still?
No.
No, so you're just,
I'm retired.
okay.
I'm retired. I paid my union dues.
Okay. And so we've been doing some work with foreclosures, and we measured like some homes that were foreclosed on in the community. And so, like, how do you think, if anything, if these foreclosures affect the community, or like, what do you get a certain feeling when you drive past a foreclosure?
Well, the house, like when you see foreclosure, what I would say when I said foreclosure, like if I ride by and see the house boarded up with the green wood up over the door, I mean it's closed up. But see, here's one thing that I look at: people that can have the houses, why did they get closed up? What happened? Hey, if you feel your house gonna get closed up, there's somebody you can talk to that I would think would take the house over. Then if they take it over, they can work with people who will come in and help them fix it back up. They may not have all the money or whatever, but just have somebody to work with you. If they work with you, hey, it's a good thing. They won't be done lost nothing. And I ain't gonna say he'll be done gained it, but he'll have the house, Then he won't be riding out here, seeing a sign up on there for sale, private property, no admission, all that stuff on there. It just won't be sitting in a house in a nice neighborhood, boarded all up. Because see, when you see a house in there, I've seen so many boarded up. And you ride through here just at this time of morning, you come back 1 o'clock, you see that wood over there pried open. Okay, you want to know why it pried open? Ain't no grown people doing that. Young people doing that, going in and try to do their little thing, And so, because they want to hide, they don't want nobody to see what they're doing. Then soon something happens, they don't know nothing about it. But that's the only thing I hate about it, see them bolted up, because it's bad for the neighborhood. I'd rather see them some kind of way get the money down on them, grant or whatever they're going to get, while they can fix the house up. if they get the house and they can fix it up, there's always somebody need a house. Always somebody. Because everybody ain't going to want to stay in an apartment. Because, you know, if you're in an apartment, you walk out, you got to have your door locked. If you living in a house and you say, well, I got to run to the garage for a minute, and you can see from where your garage door open to your back door, ain't nobody will hardly come up in your house, you know. But if you got an apartment and you walk away, you don't know who living next door to you, what they might do. So that's why I would suggest whoever got their house, whoever can get them, I would suggest that they fix them up. You know, I ask people if they help them out. It's quite a few people here would be more than willing to help them out. But the more you see, instead of going down and a month later, it's an open field. The house is destroyed.
I mean, I'm sure Tiana has some questions about this. This is kind of her topic that she's been using.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, I have some other questions about other things first, but since we're on foreclosures, I guess the thing that I would want to know is how do you think that foreclosure affects the stability of a community, or like the vacant houses everywhere? How does that affect the representation of the community, and then how people feel about their community that they live in?
Well, the one that, like when you see the foreclosure of the house, when you see them foreclosing the people living in that community, it's just like if I'm living next door to you, in the house that I'm living in, then the house, one house over from you, it's going to be in foreclosure. You wouldn't want no open lot sitting right there by your house. You'd rather have a house there, you know, where you can feel comfortable, because you got an open field. First thing gonna come in your mind, what are we gonna build here? What are they gonna build? And you don't know. They might put up anything there. You never know. Cause I seen neighborhood went from auto mechanic shop to a grocery store. You know, a little corner store like. It goes from that. And so I wouldn't want to see all that be putting up in the neighborhood. I'd rather see the houses built where people have nice place to live. You know. And so, like, when you see somebody living here and that house get destroyed, torn down, it make you feel bad. Why? That first thing come in your mind. Why? You want to know why was this house torn down? And somebody, from what I understand, that they supposed to have a grant where everybody can qualify for this grant and they be able to get the house. But when you get they give you the money, all the money they give you, you got to put it in the house. You can't go out here and say, oh, I'm going down to a Summer Fest, I'm going down to Afro Fest or whatever it is and party down there with them. You can't use that money for that. That money got to go in the house. And the way I'm looking at it, if they give you that grant, all that money they give you for that, after a certain time you pay it back. But if you got your receipt on every penny that you spent, if you go out, if you don't do nothing but buy a tape measure, you get that money you pay for that tape measure, but get your receipt. When you got your receipt and you add them on up, you say, oh, I got all these receipts. I know I bought this much. And you see what you got left and see how much your receipts adds up to. Ain't one penny that went in your pocket. You ain't wasted not one penny. It's all going where I can be accountable for. Then when your house get looking good, if you don't want it or somebody else want it, okay, this is a transaction. We go to do the paperwork, you got it. But see, most people, they don't want to try to get in the first thing they holler, I don't want to go in debt. Well, everybody goes in debt. If you go out there and get a new car, you in debt. You know, I mean, you get a new car, you can ride good, you can look good, but the one thing about it, you can't sleep in there, you can't shower in there, so why not have a house? You know, but they don't see that.
So this grant that you were talking about it seems like they would have to put their own money up first before they can get reimbursed. Is that correct?
Well, from the way I understand it, that once you sign up for the grant, and if you was approved to get that grant, they're going to give you that grant, but that grant ain't going to be, it's going to be for the houses. So If I remember right, we talked about it. I think it's pretty close 1,000 or something like that. You have to put down to get started with it. You know, to get that grant going and everything. So that's not a bad idea. That's a good thing.
Okay. So is that grant, one more question about the grant. Is that grant geared more towards homeowners, developers, or tenants?
It's gonna be more like homeowners.
Okay.
That'll be like for homeowner, whoever getting a house, they have the money to fix the house up. Whatever the house needs, that money's supposed to be enough to get them secure.
Okay. And I had some more questions about other things that you mentioned. You said that you couldn't tell the youth anything. So I just want to know where did the disconnect come in, do you think?
Okay, it's I look at it like this. Just say right now, if you was out there and you 3 or 4 of your friends, and I see things that's going on that would benefit you, and you know, and I can call you and say, hey, look, this here would benefit you. You go and do this. So they out here jumping them down, playing that music. Hey, you trying to get something in your head. See, once you got your knowledge, can't nobody take that away from you. Your friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, they can't take that away from you because you know what you done learned. But see, if you out there that's playing that music, jumping up and down and doing a Beyonce dance or whatever, hey, you ain't learning nothing but just how to do the dance. You ain't gonna do the dance when somebody may call you at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning and ask you a question. If you got that knowledge, you're able to answer. But see, the young guy, you try to say something to them, I already know this. They don't know it. They don't know it because they ain't trying to learn nothing. You know, everybody, like young guys, you look at them, everybody want a nice car. Go out there and put these big old tires up on there and them big old shiny rims. Hey, and can't you spell their name good? That don't do nothing but make it harder for them. But if you got your schooling, hey, you done went to college or whatever, and you done learned this and that, they can't take it away from you. You can tell them what to do. And that's like why it reflects back on that when I said, you make your paycheck, they can't spend your paycheck. You got your pay stub right here in your hand, and you can hold up and show them, well, this is mine, I work for it. I don't have to give you nothing. That's yours. Where's theirs? They ain't got nothing to show. But you have something to show. You have something to stand on. They won't have nothing to stand on.
So it seems that it seems to be a change in like the morals or values that young people have from the older generation. Why do you think that is?
Well, you got a lot of young people out there. They listen to guys that's older because the one that's older, they done already experienced that. The young guys haven't experienced it, and so the one that be talking to the young one, a lot of young ones, don't get me wrong, a lot of young ladies and a lot of young men, they would listen, and they get off to themselves and they'll be thinking. You see them 2 days later, they's a whole different person because they done thought about what you said. But see, the one that don't want to learn nothing, they'll walk by, just look at you like, you know, ain't no sign on you. But the one that done thought about it, they're going to say, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? You know, they're going to speak right off because they thinking about what you done said. So if you're saying the right thing, they'll appreciate it because they get sitting down talking to their parent. Well, I heard this older guy say this and say that. And your mother going to say, well, he didn't tell you nothing wrong. He told you the right thing. She going to be proud. Your dad will be proud. But if you got a brother out there doing that and ain't trying to learn nothing, hey, what is he going to say? He don't know nothing to say.
So you also mentioned that you see a lot of young women going to the library, but not young men. Why do you think that young women are more inclined to go to the library?
Because from what I see, young women know what time it is. If you, from my point of view, if you look at it, I think there is more young women right now on the computer than there is men. So young women, when they go to the library, they know what they going for. They going to do their homework. A lot of them, like I said, going to school. They go down there and they got something they want to print up, type up and print it out. They can do it right there. And see, that's why they go, because they don't have computers at home. Some do and some don't. I mean, a lot of them have computers at home, but they can't print it out. And if they got it printed out, what they done studied or what they want to turn into the class next day when they go back to school, they got it right there. But they don't have a printer at home, they can't do it. So that's why I said when I go down Center Street there by the library, I see them all the time, you know, going in and going out. I ain't gonna say they going in to use a computer, but I say I see them going in the door. So I assume they going to the library for a good cause.
Why do you think it's more girls than boys, though?
Because when I ride through there, I don't hardly see no boys coming in and out.
But like, why do you think boys aren't going to the library?
Well, from what I see, they'll walk by. I know they're not going, because when they walk by and just look, and they looking at the young ladies go up in there, it's a different thing. So that's why I said I see more young ladies going than I do young men.
And one more question that I have. How do you think residents should have responded to the incident that happened last year? Instead of rioting, what do you think they should have done?
Well, my point of view, when that incident happened, I think it was a lot of people around here that like, I can't pronounce the word, agitated that all of this went on. Yeah. They talked about all this went on and they seen that and then didn't see it. Then that made it bad. Then one thing led to another one. Then when everybody listened to this one person talk or whatever, then they want to do things their way. But it was a bad turnout. Then when that officer shot that boy, you know, it was another thing about that. Because everybody said, I seen it, and half the people didn't even know what was going on. You know, because if you look at the film, what they were showing this part and that part. But the people doing talking, you can hear them in the background, but they never seen. So I wasn't up in that area. I know the area where the incident happened, but way the people described it and talked about it, it's just like they were right there when they seen everything went on. So the only thing I can say, that was a bad situation. And that affected the whole Sherman Park area community. You know, it made it bad on the neighbors. People live there. They made it bad for the fire department, the ambulance, the police department, everybody.
Did you have any more questions, Kiana?
I just came up with two more, but
No, go ahead.
so one of the things that I'm thinking about, all of the things that you mentioned in the interview about, I feel like you talked a lot about the older generations versus the younger generation. So I feel like, do you think that there's a lack of leadership or guidance with the young generation?
Yeah.
And if so, what do you think is necessary to advance people's thinking?
Well, one thing that I look at, like the older generation, like I said, they done experienced a lot of stuff that the young generation have not experienced. And see, like I tell them all, when you live to get 50 or past 50, you done experienced this. See, young guys, some of them ain't made it 23 and 24. They hollering they know this here and experience that. They don't have no experience. That's no experience. You got to be out there, done that, seen it happen, and know how it went to say you know about it. But see, when you done been halfway across country, like I have, you done experienced this, you done seen stuff, you wouldn't even want to talk about it. You done seen stuff all over the state, you know, but they have never seen it. You got a lot of young generation, they don't want to listen to the old one. Half of them right here, ain't been no further than Chicago. Some of them been just little parts of Minneapolis. That's it. But see, when you've been around the world, halfway around the world, you can experience this, you can express this. And I can sit down, I can talk all day about how this state was, how that state went on, what I seen the people do, how they did it. Boom. You can write a whole book about it. But see, young people, 23, 24, 25, they can't write nothing. But they can write out there how this rap music went, who did the break dance and all that stuff. They can write that. But see, like when I was coming up, what was rap? Wasn't no rap. They had like what they call down south blues. Then they had country and western. A lot of people listen to country and western, which music was music then. But now, when you turn that on, why you listen to that? Hey, if you listen to the words in the music, in the older music, just listen to the words with the beat of the music, you'll learn a lot. But they don't want to learn that. They don't want to learn that. So that's why I was saying, if they experience with the oldest one, the next experience, and listen to the older people talk to them, I think they'll be a better young man, be better young ladies. A lot of them out here in the world, but they don't want to listen. So all I would ask them is just listen to it. If they listen, they'll come out better. Then you gain more respect. Well, pull your pants up on you. If you don't like a person, just walk by and say, hey, how you doing? Hello. And keep it going. They won't even say that. But they can, half of them stand on the corner. You go to the store. Hey, you got 50 cents? You got a quarter? What you need a quarter for? I want to get that blunt. You don't need no blunt. Get your education. Get your education, you buy your own blunt. That's the way I look at it.
Do you have any more? Was that?
That's all the questions that I have right now.
Okay.
I was going to ask about your involvement in the church.
Oh, yeah. I'm a member of Community Baptist Church, and I've been,
This one right here.
right there on North Avenue in Sherman. I've been a member there ever since 95. Been the same church. And I'm also, we got right across the hall here, what we call the Men's Network, be involved in over there. We do the walk. When we're doing the walk, I do the barbecuing for the walk. Then we got church picnic coming up the 22nd, which next Saturday. Got a big cookout over at Washington Park. Everybody gonna be invited. Come down. Be doing rib, chicken, brats, hot dog. Oh, we're gonna have a big cookout. We had that every year. So I'll be over there, and me and all the guys, we get together. They do the cooking. I do all the cutting the ribs up and stuff. And so everybody, work together. And by being a member of Community Church, it's a good church. It's a good church. I love the members, and love my deacon, and love my pastor. It's all good.
All right, I think that's all the questions we have. If there's anything else you'd like to add or that you think we should have touched on, you can share.
Only thing that I'm going to say, that since all that's been going on in Sherman Park neighborhood, all the members, the tenants, got houses, the neighbors or whatever, everybody should get together and come together where they can sit down and discuss what the problem is in the park and seeking to be fixed, seeking to be eliminated. Because we would love to fix it. Because, see, one person can't do it by themselves. Everybody got to come together as a group. If we come together as a group, we can do it. It's just like when we do walking, hey, you may have 5 or 6 people all willing to walk. And we have been from house to house, put flyers on the door, talk to several people when we had the town hall meeting here at the church. Well, quite a few came, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough turnout like I wanted it. And so, that's why I say all the people that tenants of Sherman Park in the neighborhood, they should come to the church town hall meeting when we have the next one. and all of them should be participating in. And let them know how you feel. If you feel bad, express you feel bad. If you feel good, let them know you feel good. If you see the things going on bad, address that. If it's going on good, speak on it. And see, that's one of the things that we need to come together and do. And those are some of my points that I look at.
All right, thank you. I have another little script that I'm going to read off. So thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
And again, this has been Bella Bewer with the 2017 BLC Field School with Tiana Cooksey helping with the recording.
Okay.
And this was an interview with Arthur Brown at the Finney Library, and this interview will be archived at the Goldemeyer Library. And thank you again for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.